another episode of Sports Told by Youth, the hottest sports youth sports talk show. Our next guest is Josh Evans, aka The General. He's a 6'2" powerhouse who helped man the trenches for the 8th grade Milton Eagles. In only his second year of playing football, The General made the GMSAA FBU team and won the B2C Offensive Lineman of the Year, Newcomer of the Year. None other than my man Josh Evans. Josh, welcome, baby.
Hey, thank you for having me today. It's a blessing.
Absolutely. Good to see you. Well, Josh, we start every show off, right, DJ, with a toast. We got your drink in your cup, which is water, everyone, and Gatorade, whatever they chose. We started off with a toast, just going around and saying what we're thankful for. So I'll start first. So grab your glass, move your mic, and grab your handy mug there. And I'll kick it off first. So, as always, I'm thankful for the opportunity of family. Today, as we shooting these episodes, you guys are like family to me. You know, I've had the opportunity to coach all you guys. My family's here. So I'm thankful for you guys and just family and opportunity to talk to you guys and be with you guys today. What about you, DJ?
I'm just thankful just to be able to interview everybody today and have a just successful day today.
Nice. Josh?
I'm really thankful for waking up this morning. You know, it's a blessing every day.
Absolutely. Any day above ground is a good ground. A wise man told me. Well, I'll drink to that, guys. Cheers to all those thankful things. Nicole's going to get on me because I keep reaching over my mic here. But all right, did you first or me?
You got it.
All right. So, Josh, I guess we'll start right with that intro. B2C, knew you smiled when I said that. B2C, Newcomer of the Year. When you see this, one, tell me how, for all our viewers out there, if you don't know, Josh is the B2C Newcomer of the Year. When you see this, how does it make you feel? Tell me about the experience. Tell me about what went into you getting this award.
I mean, it makes me feel so great because all the work that I done put in is like paying off, and like just to get invited was an accomplishment. But then to actually win the award, like that was just like a cherry on top. But I want more and more.
I like that. I heard Christian Leitner, he had the famous quote, "Don't rest on your laurels," right? You win, you should work harder now because now you see what's out there for you. So tell us about that fit. I saw you was swagged out that day, looking good and sharp. Tell me about that fit. What was that fit you was wearing?
So my grandpa, he's a big suit guy, and he got me right. He usually get me right on all my fits. I like to dress fly.
Nice.
And I like to look sharp and clean. And it was a black suit, had me a little hanky, flower hanky.
Nice.
You know, I was feeling real confident in there. Oh, and shout out to Icebox. They got me right with the
Icebox. Shout out to Icebox. Hey, Icebox, we can put you somewhere here if you need to be here. Shout out to Icebox. All right. On you, Deech.
So Josh, I was wondering, what does your training look like on a typical day?
What do you go through on a typical day? Who do you go to now? Let me hop in because I know a good friend of this show and one of the motivators. You train with one of my good friends. Shout out to Ben Grubbs, Game Time Performance. Ben is one of the good friends of mine, a good trainer. He actually motivated me to get this show started. So what is it like working with Ben and kind of work from there what your training looks like?
So Ben Grill's my first trainer of all time. You know, he's excellent because, you know, he went to the league. Like, what better is it to learn from an ex-profession? Like, and I'm reading a book called The Richest Man of Babylon.
Okay.
And in the book it says, don't go to a fisherman to build bricks, to build houses. You know, like it's a great opportunity to go to Ben Grubbs, and you know, all love to him.
Yeah.
And shout out Velocity too. Josh
Velocity,
Richardson.
yes. Shout out to Velocity. I follow Coach as well too. What does it mean to train at Velocity, and what are those guys doing there?
It feels great. You know, they're really welcoming. They like treat me like their family, like I'm their family. So
awesome. Josh, you got a heck of a support system out there. I mean, to be able to train with Ben, with Josh at Velocity, you got to take advantage of that. So that's a good deal. Is it on me, DJ, or back on you?
I'll go back on me.
Okay.
How do you maintain focus and mental toughness during high pressure situations?
in high pressure situations, you know, I try to stay locked in. I try not to think too much, think too little. Like I just do my thing.
Keeping that mind sharp. I agree. Keeping your mind clear. And for everybody out there, you know, I had a lot of that in the Marines, but even as an athlete, when you can learn to harness your mind, because our mind tells us all kinds of stuff. Our body telling us we're tired. I mean, you used to talk about that at Milton, right? If you can harness that mind and keep it clear and focus on what you got to do, I like that strategy. You're gonna have good success with that right there. Any rituals that you do before the game? Is there, some people, Mark has a funny ritual. I won't tell y'all what it is. He likes to use the bathroom before every game. But any rituals, anything you do before the game to kind of keep you going?
Well, typically I love to drink water. I drink a lot of water, and I stretch a lot and and listen to music.
Got it. So your big well, hydration is key. We had the opportunity today. I said in another episode, we attended the African American Performance Coaches Association, and we got to hear from strength and conditioning coaches all over the country. One of the speakers was Dr. Frakes. Shout out to Dr. Frakes from LSU. He spoke, and he's a doctor, and everything's about nutrition. So he broke down the importance of sleep and hydration. And I wish our viewers and the young athletes out there can see what goes into your hydration and the planning so you can reach peak performance. So keep that up. Keep drinking that water because you can't go wrong, and stay with my little sugars.
Yes, sir.
Back to you, Deech.
What do you like to do in your free time when you're not training or competing?
In my free time, I'm a big reader. I love to read books, and I also watch a lot of anime. You know,
You're an anime guy.
yeah. So you can basically call me a nerd. I'm just one of them cool nerds.
Seriously.
Yes, sir.
So what do you like about anime? Shout out, I lived in Japan for a year, so anime was big. That's where I started at overseas, I think. So don't anime guys don't come for me, but I think anime started there. But what is it about anime that you like?
I mean, I like the graphics and the animation. Like, it's just like I don't really know. It's just cool to me. You know, I love watching it.
Yeah, I'm a big reader too. I'm trying to get DJ back into reading again. But you can see on our set here, we have a bunch of cool books. I got to give you one, Josh. Strengths and Leadership. Outliers is a good one. Talks about that's a very good.
told me about
Malcolm
that.
Gladwell, one of my favorite artists. He talks about the 10,000 hours. We made a post the other day about this. Usher even talked about it. You know, do you know what the 10,000 hour rule is?
It takes 10,000 hours to master something.
Perfect. All your professionals, everybody that we look up to, they say when they say science has proven that within 10,000 hours, if you knock it out, you can master something. So work on your 10,000 hours.
Yes, sir.
Got it. I'm a big reader too, so keep that reading up. A lot of knowledge in books. On you, Deech.
How do you handle nerves or anxiety before a competition?
Well, to be honest, being nervous is common. Like, it's regular. But like when I step on it,
Y'all, we fine. This how it's set. Y'all laugh about it, dude. All right, go ahead.
chill.
Go ahead. So when you get nervous,
When I get nervous, I'm nervous all the time. You know, before this interview, I was nervous, but like I'm really just getting comfortable. But when I step on a football field, all the nerves leave the system. The dog wake up.
love it. And you said something that's important. Do you get nervous or you just laugh all the time?
When I'm like before a game, I'm gonna get nervous too, obviously. But like he said, when you before the game, you just feel like it go away.
Go away. Nerves. I would tell you, I've had the opportunity to teach public speaking, interview skills, spoken 500, thousands have been in an auditorium that have opportunity to speak. And I would tell you, from being with a bunch of presenters, we all get nervous. Beyonce, Jay-Z, before they hit that stage, they get nervous. So they say those nerves are the key to a great performance. You know, it gets you hype. It makes you want to work. You just can't let the nerves overtake you and perfect your performance. Typically, every time when I'm presenting, that first minute until I get settled in, I'm nervous. So don't let those nerves get the best of you. But you say you're always nervous, huh? Until the game starts.
Yes, sir.
Good deal. Let's talk about my question. Let's talk about your most memorable moment. It can be athletically, it could just be in life. Let's talk about your most memorable moment.
Well, for most of y'all that doesn't know, it's only my second year playing football. In my first year playing football, I was able to win the state championship with my Milton Eagles. You know, it was just
Shout out Milton Eagles.
shout out to Milton. You know, like it just felt so good because like all the hard work, all the blood, sweat, and tears that nobody saw. Like it was just us with each other. Like we was a family, and it all worked out in the end.
What are you looking for? Coach Reeves, great coaching staff, Coach Nardo, Coach Justin. What are you looking forward to going into ninth grade this next year and being a part of that defending champion Milton Eagles team?
I mean, I'm really looking forward to just being in that environment because like they really prepping you for college. Like they're not teaching they're not treating any of their players different. You know, I see our best receivers running laps after practice.
Wow.
Like you got to be on time to class. You got to be locked in. You got to have discipline. So I'm ready for that.
There's a standard being set there.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. And that's probably why they're the champion. On you, Deesh.
What motivates you to keep pushing yourself and excel in sports?
So my uncle did 2 years ago. My uncle took me in, and like he's always been one of my biggest motivations because you know I always like I want to be better than him. Like he's a great person, but I just want to be better than him, and also I want to build generational wealth. So
Mm.
I want like my kids to be comfortable. Like I want my kids to be comfortable too.
Josh, that's two things you said that we got to dig into a little bit more. One, we'll start with, because I'm all about family. I'm all about support systems because I think they're huge. You mentioned your uncle. He's one of your biggest supporters. What does he really mean to you, though? How does your uncle push you and motivate you? What does that mean to you to have your uncle as a support system?
I mean, he's always in my ear telling me to do better. Like he wants me to be the best me. So, and I always try to do my best. Like he always pushing me over and over again.
You can't beat that. I love your uncle. It's so funny when we were doing our research on you. Kyla remembers him from the game, and she said, "I'm going to write this. I'm going to write Josh's stuff just like it's so I can sound like his uncle." She wondered how he's at the game when he's announcing. And Coach, shout out to Dre. He's awesome. DeAndre's an awesome guy, and I super respect to mold you and push you and the things he's trying to get to. The second part you talked about, you don't hear many kids your age talking about generational wealth. What does that mean to you? Kind of talk about that a little bit more.
Um, I mean, like so. I don't come from like a great background. Like I struggled in the past, but like since I moved here, I've been living like really good, really comfortable. Like finances are good, and I get what I want and what I need. So like I want that same feeling. Like I want my kids to feel that. Like I want my kids to feel that.
No, that's awesome, Josh. One of the things, and I we've been talking about this with the show. Just we want to give information like that to you guys, right? Obviously, you got your uncle that's going to teach you, but what about the individual that was like me or like you before you got your uncle? Like who told us about financial? Some of this stuff I didn't get till later in life. So if we can use this show to talk, just a tidbit you just talked about, have one of our viewers go and look up generational wealth, understand savings bonds, life insurance, how all that stuff's work at a young age, then we can do what we need. We can reach those goals we want to reach with the show. So I'm glad you brought that up.
Oh, if you could sit and talk to any like one celebrity, who would it be and why?
Um, I would probably say Trent Williams.
Trey Williams, the lineman.
Yes, sir. That's one of my like biggest idols. Like I always wanted to be like Trent Silverback. Shout out to Trent Williams. He's a big role model for me.
Trent, if you're watching, we're gonna tag Trent in this video. So Trent, make sure you send some merch or something, man. Josh want to be just like you. We've been out to San Francisco. Me and DJ take a game.
Yeah.
What do we do every year?
We take a father-son trip and go to like an NFL game every year.
And we've been to San Francisco. Awesome stadium. I mean, beautiful place out there in San Francisco. So you'll definitely enjoy that. Josh, I want to backtrack a little bit. You mentioned your grandfather. What does he mean to you? I think in our research, in our pre-interview, we talked about him. What does your grandfather mean to you?
My grandfather means a lot to me. Like he came in my life and like he did something great for me. He like he helped me move here, and like I just really love him for that.
Got it. And for those who don't know, you came from Nebraska.
Yes, sir.
One of my good coworkers, she lives in Nebraska. Her name is Abby. If Abby sees this, she's a huge Cornhusker fan. She's trying to get me up there, me and my family up there to watch a game. So, what was it like being in Nebraska?
Um, it was kind of boring. Actually, it was really boring. I wasn't playing sports back then, so like I didn't really have nothing to do, and it's a lot of land out there.
Yeah. Let's talk about how do you now, as you're progressing those workouts, how are you managing, balancing your working out, your training, getting serious about football in your third year and your academics and your education and everything like that?
Okay, so I know most of y'all have heard the term student athlete.
Yes.
I take that very seriously. Like you can't be a great football player without having the grades, without showing up to class on time. And I love sitting in the front of the class. Like I love learning.
Can you say that one more time for the viewers? You love doing what?
Sitting in the front of the class.
So it's cool to sit in front of the class and learn.
Yes, sir.
You need to make sure not only that, Josh, you said you like being a leader, but you need to make sure your buddies know that because everybody wants to go to the back and hide out and stuff like that. But that's what education is. It's getting up front, listen, being interactive and stuff like that. So that's awesome here. So you balance it, loving education, being a good student. Got it. As we close, Josh, what would you we ask everybody, what would you tell yourself, 5 years from now? We're gonna send this clip to you 5 years from now. You're gonna be at. We didn't even get into your college. Did we get into this college?
know like what dream school you want to go to.
I have a couple schools, but on the top of my list, I'll probably say
LSU.
nah,
That's
nah. I'll probably say the Georgia Bulldogs. Love some Kirby Smart. They always got the dogs with them. Michigan, they always producing dog line. Penn State, I love them too, and Colorado. If Coach Deion's still there.
So you want to go with Coach Prime?
Yeah.
All right, Lice. That's a very good lineup. I mean, Michigan, Colorado, Kirby. You didn't say LSU, so I'm disappointed. We got to omit that part. Why nobody likes LSU here? Are y'all Georgia boys want to go to Georgia?
Well, like
I'm recruiting LSU, as you can see.
nah, we ain't going to LSU.
All right, Josh. So 5 years from now, you're at Michigan, you're at Georgia. What do you want? What would you want yourself to know 5 years from now?
Just keep grinding when nobody's looking. Like nobody's gonna see everything. You don't gotta post everything to social media. It's what the work you do alone. That's gonna get you far.
I love it, Josh. I couldn't agree more. We used to have a saying in the Marines: "Do the right thing when no one's looking," right? And I think that's where the gains are made. When you pushing yourself, when you grinding, outworking your best day. Those are important. Keep stacking your those days, and you're going to get the results that you want to get. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Me and my uncle have a saying. It's always to say outwork the work. I want to always be the hardest worker in the room.
Outwork the work. I love that. And that should be you want to talk about a badge, being the hardest worker in the room. And even if you ain't attacking it, even if you ain't achieving it every day, you're striving for it. So I love that. I love that what you and your uncle discussing. All right, Josh. So quotes.
Like what quote would you like refer to, or like any quotes like that's just your favorite? No, you can relate to.
And it's fine if you don't have no. We just ask everybody if they got a go-to quote or anything.
I would probably say never judge a book by its cover. I'm saying that because you don't know what a person's background, you don't know what they're going through. You're just looking at them. Like instead of judging them, get to know them. Ask them how they doing.
Wow, that's powerful, Josh. You've dropped some nuggets here today, and I think that's powerful because, as you alluded to earlier, you like anime. People probably wouldn't assume based on the Air Force Ones, the swag you got, that you're an anime lover or that you're an avid reader. So I agree. Again, never judge a book by its cover. I like that a lot. So Josh, as we close here, I always allow, because I'm not going to be here much long. And again, this is the time in the video. If I haven't said it yet, we're reminding everybody that as the producer show, I don't want to be here. So Josh, I expect to see you back in my seat interviewing people. I expect to tell your friends this is a youth podcast. I'm just here because this is our initial episodes. And thank you for being one of our initial guests. When we go back and play this day, you're going to be one of the first ones. So when this show grows and blows up, remember you were part of it, making it successful. So to everybody out there, parents, we're looking for more youth athletes to tell their stories, to get information out about cool things that we got going on in the world. So as we close, Josh, I always ask, what questions do you have for me? If you got any questions for me.
I do have a question for you.
Let's do it.
So I know you was in the military. The military is a lot about discipline. What did you learn in the military about this discipline that you can apply to real life?
Man, Josh, that's another great question. We're getting him some good questions today. Discipline is me and you talked about, right? I think me and you talked about intangible and tangible, right? All our viewers out there, we're trying to learn something every day. So if you don't know, tangible is something you can touch. Intangible is something you can't touch. Discipline is one of those things. I can't tell you enough how much discipline I gained, how much I didn't know I needed it. And that discipline applies to everything in life. When you can be disciplined enough to work out every day, if you have a goal to be in a certain shape or look a certain way, it's going to take discipline to stick to that. You said you want to create generational wealth. It's going to take discipline to not go buy those Air Force Ones, vice putting money in the bank. It's going to take discipline. If you know you want to gain knowledge or make an A on that test, it's going to take discipline to make sure you read. So the discipline I learned in the military, it applies to everything. I don't know if you remember the first time you met me. I remember reaming your butt because I'm a disciplinarian, right? Josh, you was walking up late. You was coming from somewhere. And I got the call. We knew you were late, but I didn't care, right? Because the discipline, we got to be accountable and hold ourselves accountable and stuff like that. So I think that discipline, it goes into everything. It's something you can't replace. If you keep the discipline that you have now, we're going to see in San Francisco, at least in Georgia at a minimum, but we're going to see at San Francisco and doing those things like that. So the discipline I got, to answer your question, it's transferable to everything that I do. And I was so happy I had the experience. And that's why I coach and try to give that to you guys as well.
Yes, sir. And back to what you said, getting on me at practice, I really appreciate that because you always wanted me to be the best me.
Yes,
So I need those people in my life.
absolutely. Well, Josh, we wrapping. We're going to close the show. Again, you're watching Sports Told by Youth. Make sure to like, follow, share, tell a friend. As always, we appreciate your time, the love. It's
Like
not
all the
taken for granted.
socials.
What's our socials?
Sports Told by Youth, they're up there, and of course Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok, and you can follow them all.
Again, guys, your support gets the information out to everybody. Josh, if we want everybody to find you, any socials, any way anybody can like, follow your stuff, we can get the word out to everybody.
Yes, sir. On Twitter, you can find me on Twitter at Outwork the Work. You can also find me on Instagram at Joshua_Evans28.
Perfect, guys. So
One more thing. Is there anything you want to say to like before we go, like to the people?
anything you want to say? Good call, DJ. While you think about that, make sure you go follow Josh on Twitter. Make sure you follow Josh on Instagram. Show him love. The only way we get each other out, get information out, is we support each other and push each other. So make sure you follow him on both his socials. Anything you want to pass anybody before we go?
Just keep going.
Keep grinding. Keep
Yes,
going.
sir.
All right, guys. That's a wrap. Another episode. See you next time. Peace.
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 Perfect. Good job, boy. How do you feel? You got one in your belt now. You ready now? You on your way.
So,
Good job.
can T ask, he wants to do one